You are not just a human being. You are a messenger of light, wearing the form of flesh to fulfill a mission your soul accepted long before you were born. Even when you forget, even when this life makes you doubt yourself, there are brief, quiet moments when you feel something stir in your heart, a calling that does not come from this world. It is not an illusion. It is the echo of where you came from and where you will return. There is a reason for everything. No pain is random. No encounter is by chance. Every wound, every time you fall, every tear that feels lost in the night, all are written in a sacred covenant you signed with light. Your soul chose to walk this earth among human limits, to learn, to love, to remember who you are. And now, as you hear these words, you are exactly where you are meant to be. Deep inside, you have always known you are different. While others chase and fear, you quietly feel their pain as if it were your own. When someone cries, your heart tightens, and when they laugh, warmth spreads through your chest. That empathy once made you weary, confused, wondering, why do I feel so much? But no, it is not a weakness. It is the mark of an angel in human form. Psalm 25:14 says, "The Lord confides in those who fear him." That covenant is the silent call within you, the promise that no matter how the world changes, the light will always find its way home. You carry within you the memory of a kingdom where light never fades. But to remember, you must walk through the darkness. That is why you chose a life that seems ordinary, among countless faces who have forgotten where they came from. You did not come to escape the world. You came to transform it with compassion. Look back on the years that have passed. How many times have you wondered why you keep wanting to help others, even when no one gives back? How many times have you stopped on your path just to help someone pick up what they dropped, or paused your own life to listen to a story that had nothing to do with you? Others may call it being too sensitive. But you know, deep in your soul, something moves you, a quiet yet steady stream of light. You cannot help but care, because you do not act out of duty, but because love is the natural essence of your soul. You are not just living, you are fulfilling a mission. Every kind act, no matter how small, is a piece of the divine plan. When you lift someone up, even for a moment, you help keep this world from falling completely into darkness. You are a small light in the vast ocean of humanity. And that light, though fragile, is enough to guide a lost soul home. Sometimes you feel lost. It seems no one truly understands you. You walk among the crowd, yet it feels like you are in a world that is not your own. In those moments, a deeper part of you whispers, remember, you are not alone. The number 111 may start appearing around you on clocks, receipts, or random places. It is not a coincidence. It is the seal of beginning, the sign that the gate between heaven and earth is opening, that your time to awaken has come. This world may seem noisy, but beneath that noise, there is one rhythm, the heartbeat of light. When you listen with your heart, you will realize you are being guided. You begin to meet people whose energy feels like yours, gentle souls who also carry a homesickness for an unseen home. This is not random. It is the reunion of hidden angels, those sent together to help the world through this time of darkness. Perhaps you have suffered more than most. Every wound you have endured has tested the fire within your heart. But because you know pain, you understand healing. Because you have been broken, you know how to lift others. Not a single tear has been wasted. They have watered the soil where love within you blossoms. And now, that very light is shining out, calling you to return to your true nature. One day, you will remember. Maybe in a dream, or when you look into someone's eyes and recognize a familiar gaze you cannot explain. Maybe in a quiet night, when you feel a presence around you, gentle, strong, and full of love. Then you will understand you were never lost. You have only been walking the path God wrote just for you. The world will keep testing you. There will be days when your light feels faint. But even in the darkest night, the flame still burns. Remember, you were chosen not because you are perfect, but because you are willing to love while still learning to heal yourself. That is the essence of a hidden angel, not wearing a crown, but carrying a heart that feels the pain of humankind. Let these words touch the deepest part of you. Let that ancient light, the light that has shone through countless lifetimes, awaken once more. Because when an angel remembers who they are, the darkness around them begins to fade. And as you walk from this moment forward, carrying compassion into every small act, You are doing what you came here to do, awakening the light in other souls. Your journey has only just begun. More signs await ahead, memories, missions, and lessons that will make your soul shine even brighter. But before you move on, pause for a moment, close your eyes, and feel this truth. You have never been separate from heaven. It has always been within you, right now, in your breath, in your heartbeat, in the stillness you hear. And that light, it is you. No one ever taught you how to love that way. No one told you to bend down and pick up the things a stranger dropped, or to stay and listen as a friend repeats the same sad story. You do these things because you cannot do otherwise. There is an energy within you that urges you to act, as if the light in your heart would suffocate if you did not reach out. Your compassion is not a habit. It is the natural language of your soul. From an early age, you felt something different. While many passed through the pain of others as if it were just a brief rain, you stop and let their tears fall onto your heart. You feel every worry, every fear, every loss, as if they were all your own. Sometimes you do not understand why you suffer in place of others, why you carry their sorrow home with you, but your soul knows. It is the way of hidden angels. They absorb darkness and turn it into light. When you help someone, even in the smallest way, the universe responds. There are moments you do not realize it, but a single act of kindness from you can change the path of another soul. Like a candle in the night, you may not know how bright you shine, but someone lost out there will see that light and find their way. In German mythology, there is the story of Frau Holle, the goddess of justice and kindness. She rewards those who are diligent and good-hearted, and punishes those who are cruel and lazy. When she shakes her feather bed in heaven, snow begins to fall upon the earth, a reminder that each person's goodness can change the world. You, like her, are weaving snowflakes of light through every small act of kindness each day. But your compassion is not just an act. It is a sacred river flowing from the higher realms into the world of humans. It will not let you ignore injustice or turn away from the pain of others. You see the weariness in the eyes of those who pass by. You hear the silent cry for help. And even when you do not know what to do, your very presence becomes medicine. Many leave your side without knowing why they feel lighter, because they have just been touched by the healing power of light. Psalm 34-18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." You are the instrument of that promise. When you embrace someone, when you speak a gentle word, when you sit quietly beside one who is hurting, you are doing the work of heaven, whether you realize it or not. You may not see your wings, but they exist in every selfless act you offer. And like every angel who has walked the earth, you were not sent here to live in peace. You were sent to learn how to love what is hard to love, to find light even where none seems to exist. For only when the heart is tested does compassion grow deep. There are times you are used, betrayed, or wounded by the very goodness you offer others. You may ask, why must I suffer when all I wanted was to do good? But then you will understand that each pain is an expansion of your soul, allowing it to hold more light. In the depths of your being, you know that nothing given in love is ever lost. Every act of kindness is a seed sown in the invisible field of the universe. You may never see the flowers bloom, but somewhere, in another time, someone will breathe in the fragrance of the seed you planted. For in God's plan, nothing is ever forgotten. There are afternoons when you see a beggar, and for a moment, you do not just see their body, you see their weary soul, once a radiant light now drifting through the shadows. You do not pity them, you grieve for the light within them that has forgotten itself. And you understand that helping them is also helping the forgotten part of you, because in some way, we are all fragments of the same source of light. When you act with compassion, miracles happen. The door you thought you opened for others opens back toward you. You feel healed as you heal someone else. You find comfort in the act of giving. Your kindness not only saves others, it is saving your own soul, little by little, like water washing away the dust of the world. But do not mistake compassion for blind sacrifice. Light is not meant to be consumed. Remember, even the sun hides each night to rest. Your kindness needs awareness. You are not called to lose yourself in the pain of others, but to guide them back to the light while keeping your own flame alive. That is the first lesson of awakening angels, the lesson of love with sacred boundaries. The more you give, the more the world reflects your heart. It may be through a smile, a word of thanks, or simply a warmth spreading through your chest, a sign that the universe has received your energy. And as you continue on your path, you will realize you are not alone. All around, there are other souls quietly planting light through small acts just like yours. When these lights connect, the darkness begins to fade. Psalm 145:9 says, "The Lord is good to all. His compassion rests on all He has made." Each time you act from love, you mirror that divine mercy. You become the living embodiment of heavenly kindness, the meeting point between humanity and heaven. And when the world seems to lose faith, it is you who proves that goodness is the true nature of existence. Trust that even when you do not see the result, every act of kindness is recorded in the book of light within your soul. One day, when you look back, you will realize that compassion itself carried you through every storm, keeping you whole through every trial. It is your compass, your sacred link to the source of your light. And if you ever grow weary, remember this: light does not need to be large to guide the way. As long as you keep the flame in your heart alive, no matter how small, it is enough to brighten someone's night. And when you help others find hope again, your light will shine even brighter. Because that is the law of the universe. Light only grows when it is shared. When night falls and loneliness surrounds you, close your eyes and listen to your heartbeat. Within it, you will hear the voice of God softly reminding you that He is still with you. Your compassion is not a burden. It is proof that He lives through you. Keep acting with love, for that is what makes you an angel in human form, the one chosen to keep the flame of the world burning bright. There are relationships that make others run away, yet you move toward them, not because you enjoy suffering, but because deep down, you feel you can do something, soothe, heal, or turn colliding souls back into light. You hear the cracking inside someone's heart, as if it were breaking inside your own. You sense the darkness in others, not to fear it, but to see the part of light they have forgotten. That is the instinct of a healer, an angel sent to earth to touch the wounds of humanity with hands that know how to love. But not everyone understands that. Many times you enter a relationship only to be pulled into a storm of emotions, lost in the chaos of another. You try to help, to love, to forgive, until you realize you are dissolving in pain that is not yours. Your soul grows weary. You begin to ask, why am I drawn to those who are hurt? The answer lies in your divine nature. You came to learn how to love without losing yourself. In Greek mythology, there is Triton, the messenger of the sea, son of Poseidon. In his hands, he carries a golden shell that can calm any storm. With a single breath, the raging waves bow and the sea becomes still. Your soul carries the same frequency. When someone is in panic, your presence alone soothes them. When someone is in despair, your words become an anchor holding them to the world. You may not realize it, but sometimes, just by being there, the storms in others grow quiet. Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." That stillness is not escape, it is power, the ability to bring peace in the midst of chaos. When you stand in the storm, it is your light that calms the waves. But like Triton, you must know when to lower your shell, when to retreat into the depths to restore your own energy. A light that gives endlessly without renewal will fade. You must learn to build boundaries like stone shores, so the tide does not wash away everything. Because sometimes, in your endless compassion, you forget that you too need to be loved. You carry the pain of others, believing it is your duty to save them. But angels are not called to suffer forever. You are called to shine, to help others find the light within themselves. And that can only happen when you keep your own flame intact. Perhaps you have felt guilty for letting someone go. You fear that if you walk away, they will fall. But remember, true kindness does not mean staying where your soul is fading. When you leave with love, you give the other person the chance to heal. Light does not cling to darkness, yet it shines brightly enough to guide the way out of it. Sometimes the one you try to save will hurt you. They will say cruel things, push you away, unable to see what you are trying to do. But do not let your heart turn to stone. Understand that when light touches darkness, the darkness will resist. They are not fighting you. They are fighting the light within themselves that they are not yet ready to see. You only need to stay still, without judgment. Like Triton, you blow a gentle breath and let the sea calm itself. When you learn to stop at the right time, something miraculous happens. your energy begins to return. You realize that compassion does not have to come with pain. It can be soft and clear, like the surface of water at sunrise. You begin to love without carrying, to be present without losing yourself. And in that balance, you become stronger than ever, no longer the one who chases to heal, but the light that helps others heal simply by being near. Psalm 23:3 says, "He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake." This is his promise to you. When you turn inward, when you care for yourself, your soul is restored. You no longer strive to save anyone. You simply live in the light, and that light itself becomes salvation for the world. If these words touch something deep within you, know that you are exactly where you are meant to be. You are learning the most important lesson of a being of light, that to love is not to forget yourself, but to remember who it is that loves through you. If your heart resonates with this, leave a small sign, a word, a comment, or a silent whisper in your mind that you are ready to continue. For when you share this awareness, you help another angel recognize themselves. Trust that no matter how strong the storm, the energy within you is stronger. When you live with mindful compassion, you become a lighthouse in the ocean of humanity, a place where weary souls come to remember their light. There is no need to prove or explain. Your presence itself is a miracle. The world does not need more perfect people. It needs souls who can love and still stand strong. And that is you. Keep walking in that balance, where compassion and self-protection unite. Because only when your heart is at peace can you truly calm the storms of others. With every breath, remember God's words, "Be still and know that I am with you." When you hold that stillness in the midst of the storm, you are fulfilling your mission, the mission of a hidden angel, one who not only brings light, but teaches the world that even in the tempest, peace is real. Since you were very young, you felt that something in this world was incomplete. While other children were absorbed in their games, you looked up at the sky, lost in wonder at the stars. Something in that distant light made your heart tighten, like a vague memory, a silent calling. You could not put it into words, but you knew you came from somewhere else, a world without fear, where souls spoke through light, where love was as natural as breathing. And now, in this noisy human world, your soul still hears the echo of that place, the call to return. As you grew older, the distance between your inner and outer worlds became clearer. You found yourself lost in shallow conversations, in trivial concerns. While others sought success, fame, or power, you only wanted to know, why am I here? That question haunted you, not as an intellectual pursuit, but as a sacred thirst. You read about the soul, about rebirth, about parallel universes. You did not search with your mind, but with your feeling, with the intuition that kept rising in your heart like waves from another realm. There were nights when you stayed awake, sitting silently in the dark, feeling your breath merge with the breath of the universe. In that stillness, you sometimes saw vague images, silver wings, gentle faces, or felt a stream of light touching the top of your head. You were not sure if it was a dream or real, only that it brought a deep peace the world could never give. Psalm 42:7 says, "Deep calls to deep at the sound of your waterfalls." Yes, the depth within you is answering the depth of heaven. When the soul begins to remember, the world around you seems to change. Colors become clearer, light feels warmer, and what once seemed random begins to reveal purpose. A song plays just when you need to hear it. A stranger speaks the words you were thinking, or a repeating number appears everywhere. The universe begins to speak to you in the language of symbols. You realize that everything has meaning. There are no coincidences, only reminders disguised as chance. Then you may find yourself drawn to what others call mystical, tarot, angels, energy, astrology, ancient symbols, not out of curiosity, but because your soul is trying to translate its memories into human language. Every myth, every legend carries a fragment of truth, like Oisin in Irish mythology, the warrior who wandered into the immortal land of Tir na Nog, where time stood still and the soul lived in eternal light. Oisin stayed there for centuries, and when he returned to the human world, he found that everything had changed. That story, at its core, is the story of your soul, one that remembers the world it once belonged to, yet is still learning to live among humankind. At times, you may feel out of place, as if speaking a language no one understands. But that is a sign that your spirit is expanding, that you are entering the phase of awakening, where intuition grows stronger and the limits of reason begin to fall away. You start to feel the energy around you, to read emotions through someone's eyes, to hear messages within silence. You are not becoming different. You are returning to who you truly are. Psalm 119-105 says, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path." In this journey, you do not need to see the entire road. You only need enough light for the next step. Every awakened soul moves to its own rhythm, and when you listen, you will sense the invisible hand guiding you through each moment. Your curiosity is not wrong. It is the compass of the divine. You will come to see that behind every religion, every teaching, every form of prayer lies the same truth: love. Every path leads back to the source. When you pray, whether through scripture, Buddhist chants, or a quiet word of gratitude, your soul is speaking to that source. And in that moment, you are no longer the seeker. You are the one who has been found. There will be times when the light within you feels too strong, and it frightens you. You do not know what to do with it, or why a song, a drop of dew, or a stranger's prayer can move you to tears. But do not fear. It is a sign that your soul is opening, that the veil between worlds is thinning. In that moment, you do not need to understand. You only need to breathe and let the light soak into every cell of your being. Then you begin to see meaning in the smallest things: the sound of wind through leaves, the scent of earth after rain, the glance of a stranger. Each of these is a reminder that the universe is still speaking to you, still loving you. When your heart grows quiet, you will hear the gentle voice within whisper, "You remember now." Then you will understand that your search was never about going far away, but about coming home. Coming home to the clarity, kindness, and peace that have always been yours. And once you realize that, the outer world begins to shift as well. The people you meet become kinder. Situations align with grace. And what once seemed random begins to fit together like pieces of a divine puzzle. But remember, awakening is not the end. It is the beginning of a deeper journey. When you see the light, you will also see the shadow more clearly. And during that time, remember this: the light within you is strong enough to shine through any darkness. You do not need to escape the world. You came here to bring light into it. The sky is still full of stars, just as it was that first night you looked up. But now you know those stars reflect the light of your own soul. Your journey continues, and the light is waiting for you to go deeper, to remember what your heart has always known since the very beginning. When the soul begins to remember, the world outside is no longer a maze of chaos. Everything that once confused you becomes clear, as if someone just opened a window in a dark room. You start to see the connection between all things: the losses, the meetings, even the wounds that once seemed meaningless. All of them are teaching you the wisdom of light. And in that very moment, you realize you have become a place others come to, not to hear reasoning, but to find peace. It is said that in ancient Babylon, there was a god named Nabu, the one who inscribed the will of the gods upon stone tablets, keeping the order of the universe from falling into chaos. He was the god of wisdom, of words, of prophecy. Every line he wrote had the power to change destiny. You too carry that same current within you. In a natural way, you become someone people listen to, not because you know more, but because when you speak, others feel the clarity that radiates from your heart, a light that needs no proof. How many times have you seen someone open their heart to you, even when you just met? How many times have you sat silently, listening to someone's story, only for them to say, "I don't know why I told you all of this"? That is not a coincidence. Your soul emits a field of energy, a vibration of safety, that allows others to take off the masks they wear each day. In the moment they feel seen and understood, their healing begins. And you, in your quiet presence, become a lighthouse amid the sea of life. Psalm 19:8 says, "The precepts of the Lord are right, giving joy to the heart. The command of the Lord is pure, giving light to the eyes." True wisdom does not make people proud. It makes them humble, for they understand that all light comes from the same source. When you look at the world through that vision, you see clearly that no one is ever truly separate. The one who errs is only a soul learning a hard lesson. The one who hurts you is still searching for the way back to light. When you understand this, you feel lighter. Forgiveness is no longer a duty, but a natural expression of understanding. From that understanding, your way of living begins to change. You no longer react to everything you observe. When someone shouts, you see the fear behind their anger. When someone is silent, you hear what they're not saying. And in those moments, you choose peace instead of conflict. The world calls it calmness. The soul calls it wisdom in bloom. Yet wisdom is not meant to isolate you. It is the lantern that leads you back to humanity. When you live with awakened awareness, you become a mirror for souls who are still finding their way. No preaching, no teaching needed. Your very presence becomes a reminder of light. Some people may meet you only once, but their life changes direction because of that encounter. Not because you said something great, but because you helped them remember they too are light. You may not see yourself as special, but the light of wisdom is never loud. It is like still water, reflecting everything as it truly is. When others look into you, they see the truth they have long avoided, and in that moment, their awakening begins. However, wisdom comes with responsibility. When you see more clearly, you also feel more deeply. At times, you may see what others are not yet ready to face. Do not try to force them to awaken. Trust that every soul has its own timing. Light cannot be imposed. It can only invite. Be like Nabu. Write light upon the stone, and let the wind carry it, so that those who need it will find it in their right moment. Psalm 32:8 says, "I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you." When you listen to that whisper, you will know when to speak, when to stay silent, when to move, when to pause. Wisdom lives not only in words, but in deliberate silence, where heaven still speaks through each breath. One day, when you look back, you will see that every piece of advice you gave, every insight you shared, was never truly from you, but from the source, borrowing your voice and hands to reach others. And you will understand that your role was never to be a savior, but a reminder. If in this moment you feel that light expanding within your chest, let it grow. For wisdom is not something you learn, it is something you remember. Each time you choose peace over reaction, listening over arguing, love over judgment, you are continuing the revelation of your soul. Just as Nabu once carved words into stone, you are carving light into the world. Trust that this light is spreading, even when you do not see it. It moves through your words, your eyes, your quiet presence in every conversation. And every time you help someone feel a little more at peace, you are fulfilling your purpose in God's grand design. Let the words of Psalm 37:4 close this chapter as a gentle invitation. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. For the true joy of a wise soul does not come from knowing much, but from becoming a vessel of light. When you live in that clarity, everything you seek will find you, in the right time, the right way, just as your soul has always intended. One day, you realize that miracles are not found in grand visions, but in the smallest moments of life. When the first sunlight slips through the curtain, when a cool breeze touches your skin, when someone's laughter drifts softly through the street, your heart pauses for a beat and sees how wondrous it is to be alive. You begin to understand that happiness is not a final reward, but the breath happening right now. A soul that has walked through many lifetimes of suffering finally learns its greatest lesson. Gratitude is the key that opens the gate of heaven right here on earth. When you sit quietly and whisper thank you, even without a reason, your energy begins to shift. Everything around you changes too. The sky turns bluer. The people around you seem gentler. It is not the world that has changed. It is your eyes, cleansed by gratitude. You remember the words from Psalm 100:4. Enter His gates with thanksgiving, and His courts with praise. Give thanks to Him, and bless His name. Gratitude is not only for the moments when blessings are visible. It is an act of faith, a trust that even when you do not yet see the result, grace is still at work. When you give thanks in the middle of hardship, you are declaring that darkness cannot extinguish the light within you, and that light, like a wave, begins to move through the universe, bringing forth gifts you never dreamed possible. In Eastern wisdom it is said, "When the heart is grateful, heaven and earth open." But the truth is, heaven and earth have never closed. It is only the human heart that shuts its door when it forgets the sacredness in each moment. Now you are learning to open it again, not through effort, but through gentle awareness. You begin to notice that every touch, every sound, every breath carries a quiet message. I love you. You may once have believed that joy comes only when everything goes well. But now you see that joy does not depend on circumstance. It is a choice of the soul. You choose joy because you know every challenge hides a lesson. You choose to smile because your smile is a silent thank you to God. And you choose peace because peace is His presence within your heart. Like the goddess Maya in Indian legend, who wove the illusions of the world so that humans might discover truth, your life too is a tapestry of light and shadow. Maya does not deceive. She teaches us to see through the veil to the radiant truth behind every illusion. And you, when you choose joy in the midst of imperfection, are living that same wisdom. You realize that everything is temporary, but love, the essence of the soul, is eternal. Some mornings you may wake and see the number 333 appear somewhere, on a clock, a receipt, or in a dream. That is not coincidence. It is the seal of the angels, a reminder that you are guided, protected, and never alone. Those three numbers carry the vibration of harmony, of heaven, earth, and humanity. They whisper, "You are not alone. We are here." And if your heart resonates with that number, let it be a sign of faith, a promise that everything unfolding is perfectly aligned. In the moment you feel gratitude, your energy transforms instantly. Your field radiates the frequency of love, and others feel it even without words. Someone burdened may feel lighter just because you smile. A cold room warms simply because you enter. The gratitude within you not only heals yourself, but sends waves of healing through the world. Psalm 16:11 says, "You make known to me the path of life. In your presence there is fullness of joy." Joy is not the reward, it is the path. When you walk with joy, you no longer wait for heaven. Heaven is in every step. You see miracles in the simple things. A warm cup of water, a friendly greeting, the breath still moving through you. You know that you are enough. And in that enoughness, your light shines brighter than ever. And then you realize it is gratitude that makes everything sacred. A simple meal becomes a holy offering. An ordinary morning becomes a miracle. When you say thank you, you connect yourself to the infinite energy of creation. You are living in co-creation with God, moment by moment. If you are hearing these words and feel your heart opening, pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and whisper within, "Thank you that I am alive." That is all. In that instant, you touch the frequency of God, the vibration of joy, love, and grace. Let that energy flow outward, touching your life, the people you meet, and the world that needs light. Because in the end, joy and gratitude are not destinations. They are the natural state of a soul that remembers its origin. When you live in that frequency, you no longer seek the light, because you have become the light. And everywhere you go, the world begins to shine. After the soul has learned to be grateful for all that comes and goes, another door opens. Inside, it is not perfect peace, but a longing that cannot be extinguished, a desire to understand more deeply, to touch the essence of existence itself. Everything you once knew begins to feel shallow. Old answers no longer satisfy. You start to ask, not with words, but with your whole being, why am I here? Who am I in your plan? You realize that the path of the soul is not straight. It winds like a river, flowing through light and shadow, through rains of doubt and dawns of awareness. Sometimes you feel like a lone traveler wandering through the vast universe, searching for a guiding star. But then, in silence, you hear the answer. Not from outside, but from within your heart. The truth was never far away. It has always been here, waiting for you to be still enough to listen. There is an ancient story of Melampus, the Greek prophet, who was given the gift to understand the language of all creatures. He listened to the birds singing, the insects whispering, the wind moving through the trees, and in each sound he found the meaning of the universe. You begin to listen in that same way. A falling leaf, the rain, tapping on the roof, the gaze of a child, all carry the message of God. Nothing is ordinary anymore, for everything speaks to you in the language of the soul. During these days, you are drawn to silence, not the silence of loneliness, but the silence of connection. You no longer seek answers in noise, but in breath, in heartbeat, in the still space between two thoughts. And the quieter you become, the clearer you see. Truth does not need to be sought. It only needs to be recognized. At times, this journey feels isolating. Those around you may not understand why you speak less, why you observe instead of argue. But your soul knows. This is the phase of walking through the desert, where the traveler leaves behind the noise of the world to hear the voice of God whisper through the wind. In that solitude, you learn the sacred art of listening. Every honest soul must walk through this desert. You must learn to release old beliefs, old definitions of happiness, of self, of God. All must be burned in the fire of awareness so that a deeper truth can be born. The truth that wisdom is not knowledge, but unity. No longer I and him, no longer I and the world, but one. One current of energy, one breath, one light moving through countless forms. Psalm 19:1 says, "The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands." When you truly understand, this verse is no longer poetry. It becomes experience. Each time you look up at the sky, you see not only clouds and stars, but the very intention of the Creator breathing through them. You realize that every movement of the cosmos, from the orbit of planets to the beating of your heart, follows the same sacred rhythm. You begin to walk differently. Every action becomes meditation. You eat with awareness, speak with kindness, and see others as reflections of yourself. The world is no longer a battlefield, but a vast classroom where every soul is learning how to love. You stop seeking the ultimate truth because you know that each moment is truth when you are fully present within it. There are nights when you look back at your path and smile. All the pain that once broke you was only teaching you love. Every loss was a teacher. Every loneliness, a doorway for light to enter. For the soul grows only when it learns to love, even without being loved in return. When your heart reaches that point, the universe begins to speak in a new language. The number 777 appears. At first, you think it is random, on license plates, receipts, clocks, but then you understand it is the seal of an awakened soul. 777 is the number of complete awakening, of the soul aligning with eternal light. It arrives as a blessing, a bell from heaven whispering, "You are on the right path." If hearing these words makes your heart tremble gently, know that it is your soul responding. That number is not just a sign, but a reminder that you are ready to live as part of the light, no longer separate from the source. Share, comment, or simply whisper within if that number has crossed your path, not to boast, but to affirm to the universe that you have heard the call. And then, your search slowly transforms into deep stillness. You no longer ask too many questions. You begin to live in quiet acceptance, like someone who has found the shore after a long voyage. Truth is no longer something to grasp. It becomes as natural as breath. With each passing day, you feel more clearly the flow of grace moving through you. You live simply, humbly. Yet the light in your eyes makes others stop and wonder. In that moment, you understand that wisdom is not knowing everything, but trusting even when you do not know. When you walk without seeing the whole path, guided only by the light for this single step, you are living in the faith of an awakened soul. You no longer seek God, because you have become the place where He dwells. The journey to truth does not end with a triumphant sound, but with the quiet peace of a soul that has remembered who it is. You look around and see that the universe was never distant. It is here, smiling through every face, shining through your own eyes. And as you smile back, you understand you have become what you were seeking all along, the light of truth, the embodiment of eternal love. When the soul has walked through the desert of doubt and found the path of truth, something wondrous begins to happen. The light within you becomes visible not to the eyes, but to the heart. Those who meet you say they feel at ease, peaceful, as if their heartbeat slows just by being near you. You no longer need to speak much. Your energy has become the language. The light within you has matured, no longer a trembling spark in the dark, but a steady flame bright enough to guide others. When you enter a room, the atmosphere shifts. Where there was noise, calm arises. Where tension lingered, warmth appears. You do not try to make it happen, you simply are, and your presence carries the frequency of peace. You no longer need to prove anything, to be seen, or to be right. You simply exist, and that very existence is the miracle. In Canaanite legend, they spoke of the goddess Asherah, mother of all, the giver of life and nurturer of creation. It was said that wherever Asherah appeared, the earth became fertile, trees blossomed, and the sea grew calm. You are like her, not wielding the power of storms, but carrying the strength of renewal. When your soul aligns with the light, you become a pure stream in a thirsty world. The Bible says in John 1-5, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." These words are no longer ancient scripture to you. They are living truth. Darkness still exists in the world, in others, in yourself, but it no longer frightens you. For you understand, the purpose of light is not to fight, but to shine. When light appears, darkness simply fades. There are people who come to you just to sit in silence. Some do not know why they cry when you look at them. It is not weakness, they are feeling the reflection of God's light through your eyes. You do not need to say a word. Their soul recognizes the truth. I am light too. And that makes you a guide, not through preaching, but through presence. You no longer fear the darkness in others. Instead of avoiding it, you move closer. You understand that behind every burst of anger, every act of cruelty, is a forgotten soul trembling its way home. You do not pity them. You love the part of their light that is still hidden. And you know that by looking at them without judgment, you are helping them remember who they are. That is the power of light, to love without reason. At times, your light will make others uncomfortable. For when light appears, shadows are revealed. They may resist, criticize, or even turn away. But remember, this is the sign of transformation. Light does not come to please, it comes to awaken. Keep shining, even when others are not ready to face it. True light does not need acceptance. It only needs to live its nature. And you, the one hearing these words, you have begun to live this way. Every step you take is now a prayer. Every breath, a blessing. When you speak kindness, when you forgive, when you hold peace in the midst of chaos, you are blessing the world. No rituals are required. Your existence itself is the ceremony of light. Remember, light is not something you have. It is something you are. You do not need to learn to shine. You only need to stop covering yourself with fear. When you accept yourself, both your light and your shadow, the light naturally expands. That is the state of union, where there is no longer a boundary between God and human, between giving and receiving, between inside and outside. If you have ever wondered what your purpose is, the answer is simple. Be the bearer of light, not by saving the world, but by living in the vibration of love. For the light of one soul is enough to awaken 1,000 others. Every smile, every thank you, every act of kindness creates ripples that reach farther than you can imagine. When you pass through someone's life, they may not remember what you said, but they will remember how peaceful they felt in your presence. And that is the mark of a soul vibrating at the frequency of heaven. You do not need to be perfect to shine. You only need to be authentic, humble, and fully present. This world needs you, not your titles or achievements, but your open heart. Each morning, as you step outside, imagine carrying a small sun within your chest, and let every glance, every word, be a ray of light. That is how you help renew the world, one act of love at a time. The soul's journey does not end with finding the light. It continues by becoming that light for others. And when you live this way, everything around you begins to bloom. People, places, and circumstances reflect the frequency you carry. You become living proof that heaven is not far away. It has always been here, waiting for a soul bright enough to reveal it. And now, your light is being tested one last time, not to prove its worth, but to strengthen it. For when light grows powerful, it must learn to remain in the world without fading. This is your next step, to keep peace amid trials, to love even when hurt, to smile even when misunderstood, because you are no longer the one learning about the light. You have become the one who carries it. After the light within you has blossomed, the world begins to reflect you in a new way. No longer through the challenges of darkness, but through subtler lessons, the tests of love. For true light is only proven when it passes through fire, and that fire is humanity itself. It is found in every collision, every difference, every wound, every moment when your heart must choose to close in fear to protect itself, or to open again and love once more. The love your soul learns now is no longer the fragile romance of emotion. It is the love of acceptance, the love that sees darkness in another and does not turn away, the love that remains gentle even when misunderstood, the love that needs no condition to exist. For it does not rise from desire, but from the deep knowing that all is one. You begin to see that forgiveness is not for others, but the release of your own soul from the chains of the past. In that realization, those who once hurt you become your greatest teachers. They show you the places within yourself that were still closed. When you choose to forgive, you are not weak. You are acting as a soul that has risen above. For only the strong can look at a wound and say, "Thank you, for through you I have grown." St. Paul once wrote, "Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud." 1 Corinthians 13:4. And now, those words are no longer a lesson. They are your breath. You understand that true love is not a feeling, but a state of the soul united with God. When you love without expecting love in return, you are living in His frequency. There are days when the world feels too harsh and you think your light might fade, but then a small gesture, a gentle glance, a stranger's smile, a flower blooming by the roadside reminds you that love is still here. It has never left. You only need to open your heart to see it. Then you understand. Love is not something to be found, only something to be received. And when you love, your light changes color. It becomes deeper, softer, like a candle in a quiet chapel, not blazing, but warm enough to fill the space with peace. This love is not loud. It is the quiet warmth that spreads from your heart, touching others without the need for words. You begin to love even the things you once feared. You see beauty in imperfection, and you understand that every soul is on its journey home. Sometimes the number 777 appears again, not as a reminder, but as a seal. 777 is the number of divine completion, the mark of a soul that has reached the highest awareness, knowing that it is not just its own light, but a ray of the infinite light. It arrives when you have learned the final lesson of love, when you love not to be loved, but simply because love is your natural essence. If this number begins appearing around you, let your heart listen. Do not just see it with your eyes, feel it with your soul. It does not come to show that you are higher, but to remind you that you are ready to merge with the light. Share it if you feel called. For when one soul acknowledges its light, it helps others dare to do the same. The love you carry now no longer belongs to you alone. It flows like fragrance in the wind. You begin to pray for those you have never met. You look upon the world still filled with conflict, deceit, and division, and yet you see hope. For in every soul, no matter how hidden by darkness, there remains a tiny spark. And your mission is to believe in that spark, even when no one else does. You begin to live in gratitude, not because everything is perfect, but because you see that everything is helping you love more deeply. Even loss becomes a blessing, for it stretches your heart's capacity to love. Love no longer stays within the boundaries of people. It becomes a flow. You love the wind, the earth, the sky, the silence between breaths. And within that vast love, you realize God is not above you. He is within every beat of your heart. Psalm 36:9 says, "For with you is the fountain of life. In your light we see light." When you live in love, you are living in that light. And when you see the light in another, you are reflecting God Himself. Now you stand at the threshold of transformation. You are no longer the seeker, no longer the healer, no longer the bearer of light. You have become the light itself. There is no more separation between the lover and the beloved. No more I and thou. Only one pure, silent, eternal love. Stay in that state. Do not try to hold it. Simply breathe with it. True love does not need to be kept. It exists on its own. It flows through you like a river, moving exactly where it needs to go. And when you allow yourself to be that river, you are fulfilling the sacred mission of your soul to make this life a place where the love of God becomes visible. And then, one quiet morning, perhaps, as you sit by the window, or as you sip a cup of tea, you realize your long journey has brought you back to where it began. But everything is different now. The world remains the same. People still laugh and cry. Light and shadow still dance together. Yet you see it all through the eyes of an awakened soul. You no longer divide things into good or bad, right or wrong. Everything has its place in the grand harmony of creation, and in that stillness, you know that all has unfolded exactly as it was meant to. Your journey, the pain, the losses, the falls, the tears that once made you feel lost, was never a mistake. They were all waves, bringing you home. You finally understand there is no path that leads to God, because He was never apart from you. He has always been there, in each breath, each glance, each moment you knew how to love. Psalm 36:9 whispers, "For with you is the fountain of life. In your light, we see light." And now, you do not just read those words, you become them. You look around, and every face becomes sacred. The stranger on the street, the one who once hurt you, the one you loved and lost, all carry that same light. There is no longer them and me, only one flowing current, light recognizing itself in countless forms. You smile, because now you understand. The soul's journey was never about seeking perfection, but about learning to love through every shape of imperfection. And when you embrace your whole life, both light and shadow, both triumph and failure, you feel a deep peace spreading within. It is not a fleeting joy, but the quiet happiness of someone who has come home after a long voyage. You have completed a cycle of the soul, and somewhere in the unseen, the number 999 appears, the number of sacred completion, a sign that one journey has closed, so another may begin. 999 is the mark of fulfillment, of a soul that has kept its promise and is now ready to ascend to a higher awareness. If in these days you see that number in a dream, on a sign, or as a flash of intuition, know that it is the greeting of angels. They are not saying goodbye. They are saying, "Welcome home, beloved." For the soul has no beginning and no end, only spirals of light, each turn deeper, brighter, and more complete. If that number stirs your heart, share it, speak it. For when you acknowledge your light, you awaken the light in others. Now, you no longer search for your purpose, you live it. Every gesture, every word, every act becomes a channel of love. You are the embodiment of grace, of wisdom, of compassion, not because you try, but because you remember who you truly are. When you touch another life, even for a moment, you leave behind a trace of peace. When you are silent, the world can still hear the voice of light through you. The universe does not need you to be perfect. It only needs you to be present. For the presence of one unified soul is the most beautiful prayer of all. You do not need to change the world. You only need to love it so deeply that it changes on its own. And in that love, you become the bridge between heaven and earth. If you close your eyes right now, you can feel it, a gentle warmth surrounding you, like invisible arms holding you close. It is the energy of the source of God, of all beings, of the deepest part of you. Let your breath merge with that light. Feel your oneness with everything, the wind, the heartbeat, the light, the silence. There is no separation, no fear, only endless gratitude. Now, your journey is complete, from pain to love, from darkness to light, from human to angel. Returning again as one with the source, you are no longer the one searching for light, because you are the light the world has been waiting for. And if these words touch your heart, let them flow through you. Share that light in any way you can, with a kind word, a hug, a smile, or simply through the peace you carry as you move through life. For light does not need to be preached. It only needs to be lived. This journey does not end here. With every new day, you continue to walk, not to seek, but to give, not to understand, but to become. And when the world feels heavy again, remember, you were once the darkness, and that is why you know how to shine. Go now, beloved light. The world is waiting for you not to be saved, but to remember itself through you. And as you walk, gentle as the wind, loving as the light, know this: you have come home. Grateful that you chose to spend these moments in the light of this story. If it touched your soul, please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the bell so the next whisper of light may find its way back to you.